So this week, in honor of Mr. Gumper, I wanted to research how grief affects our brains. And here are a couple fun facts. Grief is totally normal. There's no timeline for grief, and no matter if you're feeling like less some days, more other days, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get back to normal. That's totally fine. It's also an evolutionary trait, which is something I didn't know before, and I think that's really interesting. Also, when we're going through something, your brain creates more connections between neurons, which can strengthen or weaken other connections that are already there depending on the severity of the loss. Here's another thing. Grief and love are very intertwined, and a lot of science for humans relating to grief is similar to animal science. Epigenetic changes happen in the brain, so proteins are folded differently because of a bond an animal has with another animal. And that was found in a study with certain rodents, and that's found to be the same for humans. When that bond is severed, less oxytocin is created, and this happens in the nucleus accumbens, and we'll get to that part of the brain later. Grief is handled the same way as stress is, which is great because if you want to know how stress affects our brains, there's this really great video that's super helpful. And the part of your brain that handles that is your amygdala. Other parts of the brain affected include the ACC, which regulate emotions. So, like you're regulating physical pain, which is why you might get actual physical pain when you're going through that rough time. And now, back to the nucleus accumbens. And that part of your brain is part of a reward system, which might sound kind of contrary to what emotions are felt during grief, but this part of your brain is trying to search for the person that you've lost. And it explains why you're trying to look for them in places where you know they aren't, and why you sometimes feel their presence somewhere where it's just not possible. Your nucleus accumbens over time creates its own version of reality. So let's think of it this way. There's this chair in your living room that you've had for years, but you've had to sell it. Two versions that exist for your living room are the one that actually exists. The chair isn't there. And then the second version is the one that your nucleus accumbens has made over time where the chair is there. And your vision with the nucleus accumbens is trying to adjust to the real world version. And it's kind of like two layers of digital art where you can't quite switch between it, but you know that the top layer isn't really there. It's just translucent. And now instead of this chair, imagine it's this person that you've lost. And another part of the brain that's affected by grief is the prefrontal cortex, which is linked to brain fog and actual cognitive changes because it's diverting energy from your normal tasks to this new change. So for me, the most interesting part of this research was totally learning about the nucleus accumbens because it explained so much of what I was feeling. But yeah, it was really cool researching.